We're back with more Barnstable This Morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and joining me in studio, Town Manager Tom Lynch. Tom, good morning.
Happy spring.
Yeah, I know. Happy spring.
It looks like it's stopping.
It does.
And, so we'll put up with the snow for a little bit longer, and then nice weather this week. So.
Absolutely. It was, I remember though a year ago on March 21st, it was just like this outside. Of course, we had months of this leading up to it, but yeah, it'll be gone by the end of the day. So a number of things to talk about today. I got to say the Youth Commission did such a wonderful job of putting together the Youth Summit last week.
When I went over to the community prevention forum on Thursday evening from 5:30 to 8, they had badges for us. It was a regular convention atmosphere. They had booths set up outside, and we do, and as you need to, we do a lot of talking about this issue because it's very current and people are very concerned about it. And we're trying to bring a lot of awareness to the whole opiate crisis and drug prevention. Here you have an example of the Barnstable Youth Commission. Brendan Clark and the other individuals that serve on that, putting together both a very ambitious community forum to be able to talk to parents and others about how to talk to your kids about drug prevention, and then bring in the entire 7th grade class for a series of events and lectures and exhibits. It's just very impressive because it's the young adults themselves reaching out to their fellow students and friends to hopefully prevent anyone from going down the road of addiction, which can be just so destructive, as we saw and heard time again at the event.
Absolutely. So, again, good to have a conversation and good for the youth to be able to talk to each other and to talk to adults and people in the community.
Do you want me to talk mostly today?
I know, it's a little dry in here. It's that winter going on. But
yep.
We do have a number of things to talk about. Of course, there's a huge list you have in front of you, and this is something I think is so important to highlight, is all of the business development that's going on in Barnstable.
Well, I thought, the past couple of weeks it's felt like spring. You look around and you could see businesses getting ready to open up. You're seeing a lot of landscaping go around. They're starting a lot earlier than in the past because they've had the time to do that. So I was somewhat curious because I had heard about a couple of changes, and I thought that, so I just talked to staff, talked to the bid and others just around what they saw happening, and there were under old places with new faces. Tommy Doyle's is going to become a restaurant. Cacades, there's Uno's is going to become a Jasmine Blossom Asian fusion restaurant. The Nissan, that we have on the corner of North Street and Stevens Street, looks like that's going to come into the Joe Lahan family and be a collision repair center. Advanced Auto Parts is opened up on Hyannis Road. There's going to be something called the Paper Store up in the old Marine Store up at the Kmart Plaza. Bed Bath & Beyond is at the Southwind Plaza now. There are 2 new gas stations, one United Gas on Route 28, which is the old Getty.
Okay.
And then up on 132, there's a BJ's is taking over there, and they're going to be there. The Centerville Pie Company is expanding from Centerville over to the airport, and I was talking to one of the owners there, and I said, now, some people might feel it's a little difficult to get in and out of with the parking there. And no, they've worked that out, so you can come in, you can go around, and they're going to have what they call priority parking. So you'll know where to park, and you can come in and do that. But they're scheduled for opening, later this spring. There's a new clothing store, Ellie Kai's, which was the old Wendy Wheeler's store in Osterville, is opening up. There's Akira Sushi, which is right on Main Street, down toward the West End. Premium Plywood Plus is going in the old Mid-Cape Home Center. There's a Mexican restaurant, I understand, going into the old Island Merchant, and several other changes that are just in stores like that. under social service agencies, the Social Security is going to be leaving the North Street location they have. So they're moving out of downtown Main Street, but they're going up to Independence Park. The Salvation Army store, I understand, is also going into the old Reebok store in Yarmouth. So that's been an area over by the HYCC that can get very congested and whatever. So I don't know whether
Indeed.
they'll do something different there or not. And then we've welcomed the Arts Foundation to the Bank of Cape Cod building down in the East End here in Hyannis. And they're at the Bank of Cape Cod building that's there. So that's a merger we have to watch closely between the Rockland Bank and Cape Cod Bank. They have 4 branches in, Cape Cod Bank does, in Barnstable. They're all leased buildings, I understand, so there may be vacancies there depending on how the company decides to merge or not. We have, you know, a rather large redevelopment up by the Airport Rotary with Citizens Bank and a CVS going on the whole block up there that's going to be, you know, redeveloped. Several housing projects, you know, on Elm Street, which is, you know, between Center Street and Barnstable Road, in Hyannis, the old police station that then became a community health center. Dave Dumont took that over and proposed doing housing, and that went through the regulatory process. He presented a very interesting conceptual design with dormers and putting a second story on that building. 1-bedroom units right in the downtown to be able to support, you know, a population that needs that sort of housing. Drove by the other day, just great. I mean, it looks wonderful. I'm going to call him today just to say, boy, he took conceptually what we saw and built it, and I think people can be very pleased with the result there.
And you know, people are really, they're wanting to move to downtown areas. We're seeing that live, work, play kind of a philosophy, and especially as we're trying to look to attract young people. I know these are going to be market rate apartments,
Yep,
so you know, looking for people who are looking for, you know, close proximity to transportation or close proximity to restaurants and shopping and all of that. Certainly to see more development in the downtown housing is a great thing.
And other housing opportunities that are coming up. There's going to be the second phase of the Village Green Apartments. That's another 60 units there, and there are proposed 29 residential agreements at the corner of Independence and Mary Dunn Road. We have a whole host of additions that are there. Trader Joe's is expanding into the old candy store. BJ's Wholesale Club added another 19,000 square feet. The Black Cat Summer Shack is looking to, you know, do, you know, on their second deck there, you know, seating that would have water views out there. You know, there's an improved brew house at Cape Cod Beer, and always probably people out there smiling now in TV land. And then, you know, the local juice is going to the Little Beach Gallery at the West End. So other changes, the Hyannis Harbor Hotel that we've talked about before down along Ocean Street, they're going to do the construction of their foundation this spring and then begin actual construction in the fall. We do have 2 big properties that, you know, people are looking at: the International Inn at the West End and I believe it's America Inn and Suites at the East End. Are both properties that, you know, have been for sale that other hotel brands are looking at. So, you know, that's something that we always want to deal very closely with our business community, because they'll help set a tone for what Main Street looks like and what happens when people come down. The Fairfield Inn and Suites is almost finished on Route 132.
Looks great.
Ethan Allen next to Whole Foods is almost finished. And Premier Audi, their Joe Lahan's on Route 28. That dealership is just about completed too. And in the works, we have a Chick-fil-A going in to the corner of Enterprise Road and 132, and Cumberland Farms is going to redevelop there, the Gulf Station that's down there on West Main Street. So
great.
Those are some of the, you know, 45 plus, you know, things that are happening this spring. So it contributes, I think, to the fact that Barnstable is the 11th largest commercial property tax base in the state. So I think sometimes people are surprised to hear that when they think of larger communities like, New Bedford and Fall River and Worcester and whatever. They tend to categorize those as having large commercial bases. We do very well here on the Cape as the hub of the Cape, and it's good to see that new businesses are coming in, and when there is a vacancy for whatever reason, we're able to fill those.
Sure, and we see such a wide variety here, everything from restaurants to retail, clothing, autos, social service agencies, housing, and for you, Thomas, as town manager, to see all of this business development, all of these business owners, whether they be small businesses or large corporations, saying, yes, we want to locate here in Barnstable, that's got to feel pretty good.
Well, we felt that even during the recession, we would still have people knocking on our doors saying, we're interested in, relocating down here. And there was a little longer timeline there. Here, some of these have moved very quickly in terms of coming in. So it does feel good that we're as a government, able to set the table and show that, we're building the infrastructure, we're making sure our roads and services are kept up to a capacity where businesses want to come in. And, many of these are businesses that will enjoy the spike that we get during the summer, but additionally provide jobs on a year-round basis as well.
Absolutely. Well, we love to see that. Tom, I thank you so much, as always, for coming by and joining us here in Barnstable this morning. Tom Lynch is our town manager. Well, we've got more to come. Bill Butler, our interim superintendent of schools, is next.